6:30 hour, folks, and welcome everybody here to our board meeting for the 2nd of September, 2021. It is fall's approaching fast here, folks. And again, just welcome everybody, and those visitors, board members and such. And as we can start right off with our meeting, we came out of the executive session with the cut business plan thing, and all I can say is it's a very interesting plan, so to say the least. There'll be more. I believe Mike Dyson wants to be on the agenda in the future to kind of keep us updated. So saying that, the meeting's called to order, and next thing on the item is review and approve minutes of August 19th, 2021.
A motion to approve the minutes of August 19th, 2021.
Any to second it?
I will second that.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, call a vote on the meeting, on the minutes. All those in favor of the minutes of August 19th, 2021 as printed, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Next is the adjustment to the agenda. Do we have anything we want to move around on the agenda tonight?
Agenda looks good to me.
Okay.
That's
Zach?
good to me as well.
Okay. So we'll move right ahead. And first off is Community Club. Gary Grant.
Hi, thank you. I have a couple of questions tonight, but at first I want to talk a little bit. The Groton Community Club formed, I don't know, 70 years, 50? I can't remember how many years ago. I've been doing it for 35, so. But anyways, it was always the Groton Community Club, and it was part of the town, and everybody comes together, and we do the chicken pie supper. That's our main function. But through the years, the club had always raised the funds, and the funds were given to scholarships at Blue Mountain Union School, 500 every year to the library for like the Birds of Prey children's programs. And then we used to do swimming lessons years ago, but then we couldn't find a Red Cross person to do them, and sort of faded out. And then we always did the flowers throughout the town, in the park. And what has happened over the years, and we've slowly built up some funds and so on, and we used to go up, and we did pay for the hall floor back in the day. We used to pay for a lot of maintenance to the building in different ways. And we did pay for the curtains, the new curtains that are up there. And we've done a lot of different things for the building. But then the building became its own entity. And so funds were set aside and voted at town meeting to make sure that the building was maintained, which is wonderful, and thank everybody in the community for that. And as you can see, it's beautiful. And you're doing a great job. So from there forward, what the Groton Community Club has done now is to set up its own nonprofit, separate. So it's called the Groton Community Club Cooperative Company with 3 directors and a full board. So with that being said, our next issue came with, do we pay? We went to the paid part of the stove. I mean, those are the same things that we would traditionally, if it's anything that affects what we're doing, we're going to pay for it. We bought new cookers this year. And all of those things are available. People do use the cookers for different projects and different things in the community, and dishes and whatnot. And the big thing that we always did was the tables and chairs. We paid for them every year. We rebuilt them, made sure they were maintained. But a few years back here, the town decided they would like to maintain the tables and chairs, because there's always been the question on taking them out and bringing them in. And there was always a dissension. You know, we just felt they were the communities, they were paid out of community money, anyone was eligible. And it was hard because the town didn't have someone to supervise it. So we said, yeah, you can take home the tables and chairs. So the tables and chairs then belong to the town. So then the town has bought some. I don't know if they're going to continue to buy more as we go forward, or how that's going to all work. But that's something we all have to look at and make sure. And if we had money, I'm sure the community club would help support anything that's going on. And so we then move on to the gas. and this is where Lisa and I got into the whole thing with the gas company, because they wanted to charge us yearly fee,
$94, that was
the
that.
company that we had, just to have the tank here. And we were both like, oh, we don't want to pay that kind of money. So we said no, and we went to Perry's. And Perry said, no, you won't have to pay that. But Perry's bill come in, but it came to the Groton Community Club, and that was for setting the tanks and full tanks. And the bill was $184.96. So then we started the discussions of, well, shouldn't that be part of the overall building maintenance cost for everything that goes on within the building? Because it's accessible and open, and there's not a lot of people that do use it, and we use it one day a year. And so that's why I'm here. Who wants to be or should be responsible for the gas? I mean, you pay the electric, and you'll be paying the electric for the electric, and you have paid the electric for the electric stoves. Shouldn't that stay within the same of the community building so that you have all finances for the building, you know the true cost? Because I was trying to go back and figure out how much it did cost us each year. I don't have the records.
Seemed like it hadn't been filled.
To
Dead
do it.
River was the previous one, hadn't been filled since 2019.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot, certainly not every year,
No,
you know.
no, it's not used that often. But I just thought maybe it should be in the regular budget, that's all. So that would have to be your choice to do so. And then we need to take care of this bill for $184.96, when we moved it over to that. But it did include the gas.
Yeah, it did, yeah,
Yeah, I called down because I was like, oh, did that?
yeah.
I'm not paying you $184 to set tanks. The statement says setting tanks, the monthly statement. But we already knew we had a gas. So that's my question to you.
Okay, guys, what do you think?
So the community club corporation is gonna take a very hands-off, I mean, kind of what I'm.
For right now, we don't have a lot of money.
Yeah,
And of course, we didn't do it last year.
yeah,
And the money has dwindled down, and we've always set aside or tried to, we'd have to build up to get the tables, and we'd build up to get chairs, and we build up to do each of these things throughout the years. And right now, the community club balance is, like 12,000, and in my head, they're doing some analysis on our costs per year to produce the meal. My head was always $9,000. So that's not a lot of win-win for scholarships and everything. But, and with the cost of everything going so high now, it's like, I'm gonna pay for chickens this year, And, I do want to talk about that too, so that you feel more comfortable about what we're doing this year too. Which is going to be, we'll only be serving 106, half what we normally serve because of COVID, to make sure that they're separated. Everyone will have masks. All the servers will have gloves. All of the people that will be working, we really want to make sure that they've all had their shots, so that there's not a liability.
so just doing like half
Yeah,
seating.
yeah, and
You're
we're
still
only
gonna do
doing
4
3
servings.
settings, we're not doing 4. And we're going to rely a lot on takeouts. And hopefully the takeouts will pick up. And if something happens with the state law and they, there's more cases and they say no gatherings, then our backup plan is just to go straight takeouts. So that it makes us covered with everything in the town. There's no liabilities hanging out there, so.
Dan had a question in the back.
Dan?
If the town decides to take over the payment for the gas or whatever, will the community club LLC also pay for the rental of the hall for the suppers?
Oh, good question.
I don't know. Do other groups?
Rent the hall,
All right.
right, yeah.
The rec committee?
I don't know if they do or don't. No, they don't.
No.
No, but they're,
Their budget's under
they're,
10.
they're municipal.
Okay, and does the fire department for their chickens and for their other things that they do?
I don't know,
Do they-
use a hall.
That's under their
We don't-
nonprofit side.
No, we usually. we
You
don't
have a
use-
nonprofit side, and is chicken stuff money goes into the nonprofit side, right? So do you pay for the facilities? Do you pay for?
We usually, we just usually, wherever, most of the time we're doing it all in our department, so. yeah.
But the building still is open and the bathrooms and all of that, and then they do some of their sauces that they have to warm or whatever.
That
So,
doesn't-
yeah, and that's all under the nonprofit side, so that's what I'm saying, I mean, we're all in the same till, and the money goes back into the town.
Yeah.
And any money that we get as a community club is the same as the fire department, they're nonprofit, goes back into the community. Ours goes back to the students, ours goes back to the buildings, it goes back to, you know, if something came up and you guys said, hey, we need your signature to do something with a nonprofit, whatever, we'd all be part of it, because we're all part of the same.
Dan, you have another question?
Yeah, my question is, all of us here in Groton pay taxes to the building, so we're all part of that same deal.
Yep.
So if we charge townspeople to rent the hall for whatever thing that they have, then it should be the same across the board. And if Groton Community Club LLC wants a hands-off approach, then they should pay a fee, just like every other taxpayer in this town, to use the hall.
Good point.
It could be.
I guess my concern is that, what's gonna be, you know, not just picking on the community club, but what's gonna be in the future with the community club when these issues come up? Because I know there's discussion of adding on at some point down the road, some years from here, one of these projects we get going, gets finalized, about adding on a kitchen and so forth, is how is this all gonna be? Because I see the bigger picture. This is just a small little issue that we're dealing with now, but what's it gonna be once, we have a kitchen and it's fully operational and such as that, who's gonna fit the bill for that? That's my concern as from the board's perspective, so, that's I mean, because it has a snowball effect, I'm afraid, if we don't pay attention to it. And that's one thing.
That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
that we have to look at, is the building and each entity and how that they operate and how they function within the community. And all of us pay as individuals if we want to lease the hall. But that would mean others should too. It's the same deal as far as I'm concerned. We're all community members. We're all part of the same team. We're all raising money for the same purpose that goes back into our community. It's not like we're taking the money and taking it out of town and spending it and just doing a fundraiser, you know what I mean, or a fundraiser for one individual. It's overall community. And that's where we all stand, is community. Are we community or are we not, you know? So this is why I'm looking at it. And if the building, if I'm looking at dollars and cents, when I'm looking at dollars and cents, I want to know every penny. I want to know what it costs to function. I want to know every cost that is there. And that way I know I can control it, but I can't control it when I don't know.
Now, the total refund back from Dead River, what was the
It
amount?
was $100.
Was it?
$100, that was
That was it, $100? Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
and that was a deposit and fuel that was in the tank.
Okay, now, I'm just trying to figure out where that $100 should go toward. Should it go back toward taking care of the gas situation? I believe it should, because to take care, and then, I'm myself personally, as far as the board goes, I can't speak for the other gentleman, but if that was a possibility of putting that money toward that bill, and the town, we would pick up the rest of it, would be a compromise. But I can't see us paying the bill and the community club receiving the $100. I can't see my way through that.
Well, I'll have to take you back to that board
Yeah,
and see if they want to do the $100 and then you pay the difference.
yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah.
So I'll take it back to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then going forward, yearly, I mean, it's probably yearly or every 2 years,
I would say 2 years.
you're gonna have a bill.
Yeah, so.
It makes sense for the town to own the tank that's attached inside the building.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for the community club to have that.
No.
I mean, it makes sense for the town to take that on.
Yeah,
I think the best compromise would be like Wade said, take the $100 from Dead River, put towards the 184, we'll pick up the
right,
rest,
and you pick up the rest, and then
Yeah.
we'll go just forward from there.
and then going forward, yeah.
It would be under the towns, so that they would have control of it.
All right with that, Zach?
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. I still think, there's a question that needs to be addressed around, who needs to pay rental fees for utilizing the facilities. I think Dan brings up a good point that, we do have a lot of, we're asking that if, someone, wants to reserve the hall for private use, that they're, paying funds to the town, to cover, what is it right now for one-day rental?
It depends on the hours.
Oh, yeah.
Rent by the hour. And then if you wanna rent by the table and chair,
How much is it the hour?
I think if you're local, it's $7.50.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad, and then that's what we also brought up, is that the town has complete control of the building and has a whole set of policies and is charging rents and doing all those things that go into that building fund.
Yeah,
So everything should be in the
Yeah.
building,
yeah,
within the building fund.
yeah.
And, that's where I would lean to say, and I think Dan brings up a valid point, is I think, whoever uses the hall should probably pay that rental for, because that goes towards maintenance of the building and those type of things, and so I think it does make sense to, and I think, for doing it by the hour, obviously, for chicken pie supper, you need the building for
3 days.
3 days. We could potentially compromise on, how that looks, because if anybody's renting it for 3 days, I think we wouldn't charge you, $7.50 an hour for 3 days, that just doesn't make any sense, but,
Right.
Maybe we lay that out a little bit, and, when you're actually occupying it for an actual event, right? So for chicken pie supper, it's 4 to 8 or whatever, right, from setup to tear down, when you're actually serving meals. And so maybe that's what we look at. So, preparation, setup, and otherwise wouldn't necessarily be included in the rental, it would just be the hours of the actual event. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what most people pay, is the hours of the actual event.
Correct.
Yeah,
I'll take that back to the board also.
okay.
Next question.
Did they get easier,
Oh, no, they get worse. This one is big time worse. In the past, the town has always carried a liability insurance for the chicken that day, right? Is it for the day, or is it ongoing?
I don't know, I think it's just our blanket. I don't have one specifically for chicken pie supper that I have seen. It might just be under the insurance, like when the birthday party goes up there, it's under.
General liability.
General liability?
Yeah, so I don't recall getting one just for chicken pie supper, so I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, so we'll need to check that liability.
Yeah, that's a good
That-
question.
See, because we came up with it by becoming a nonprofit, right, to set this up so that they would have a nonprofit, they have access then to any grants or funds, or, even if they wanna help the town says, we're gonna go for this grant, you go for that grant, and we're gonna finish this, or whatever, we can all work together. So we went ahead and we got the nonprofit status, and then the whole thing comes up, okay, we have to have directors and officers liability. Then what about general liability? And what about liability for the day? And I said, well, I know the town years ago, in the past, had an umbrella for that day. Because there was a parade, because we were closing the road, because the fire department was doing all these extra things.
Yeah.
Everyone was
Yeah,
doing,
those two things,
doing
but I
a-
don't know about supper.
doing a lot of things,
Yeah.
so we,
And
The parade.
The parade, but I don't know about supper.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's before me, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think we'd have to look to see what does our current general liability cover? And if it covers any events within the building, then it's fine, otherwise we would need a separate. And some of that may be determined by occupancy, so, seating 106.
So I wanna
Plus
make
the
sure we're
people.
covered,
Yeah.
especially this year. And we've also been looking into getting our own, and what that would mean, and, what that cost would be.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make sure I brought it here to see where we were with it, because I knew years ago with it, we would just come in every year and they would say, yeah, we picked up a, and we were listed. So you have to be listed in order to.
As a group under that, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I'm asking, where that's at, if that's not happening, how we're doing it, so
Good question.
I'm gonna leave it to you. That's my big question of the night. You can do your homework, have fun, and if you have any other questions for the,
And Mary, if the board decides to pay the $100, whatever, to Perry, can you just have him write the check directly to Perry
yeah,
instead of the town?
right, you don't need to run it through yours.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions for community club? So you know where we're at. We're trying to keep it right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Mary, thanks for coming down.
Thanks, Mary.
Yeah, right.
All right. Next up, Michael Jolly. We have to hear what you have to offer for us.
Well, I'd like to possibly go for town constable. I'm working on being a deputy with Washington County, so I would get level 2 certified through that. Yeah.
When does that training finish up, Michael?
That training, well, I turn 18 in October, so after October.
So they're not gonna give it to you before, it has to be, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you got interest and really want to,
Yes.
so, how do you feel about it, Jim?
I think it's great.
Good.
I plan on, if I get voted in, right now my plan is to go one more term, and then I'm out.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to have somebody,
Yeah.
and it must well be someone young,
Yeah,
fresh out of the academy.
yeah, perfect timing. Yeah,
Could it be like first and second again, like it was years ago?
I do believe so, yeah.
Yeah, for now.
Maybe
Yeah.
1 year
yeah,
or two.
well, until, whatever the,
Yeah, Jim's been second constable before, so I'm sure he won't know.
Yeah, so I don't see no problem as far as labeling, yeah.
Well, it's just bringing back that budget
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
because we kinda,
Yeah.
don't use it anymore, so it's
No,
not
no,
shown, so
no.
that's just to think about.
No, but we, yeah. Okay. Anything else you can offer, Michael?
No, sir.
Okay, anything from the board, any questions?
No, just really excited to see somebody young wanting to, be present in the community and, I'd say, good on you for, working through all the training. It's not easy stuff. So, so yeah, no, it's a good
Do
thing.
you still live here in town? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing, Michael, thank you for reaching out, and, not only that, but being qualified. That's pretty special too,
It
so,
is, yeah.
pretty rare.
All right, thank you, Michael. Any questions for you have for us?
No, I don't think so.
Expect an appointment letter in the mail,
Really fast.
really fast.
Thank you, Michael.
Perfect.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, department updates. Daryl,
We got
Oh, boy.
you. Right in the middle. I did it for you, Dorothy.
I got the toy used for.
Hold up a knife, please. Thank you.
I have my tie for a tourniquet, so we're good.
One bid from Ricker Builders, caulking cracks that are open, cleaning walls and ceiling, repairing ceiling, painting 2 coats, 14,800 square feet, cost of $5,950.
Now, this is for the garage, front of the garage, right?
Yeah,
What do you got in here?
unless you got it upstairs.
What do you got in your maintenance?
I think we've got 5,000 in building maintenance,
What do you think?
Yeah.
so it'll be a little bit over, but I'm quite a bit under on budget anyway, so. Thank. I haven't seen a recent printout, so that might scare me, but
Something you're saying, but it's 34% of the budget.
All right.
Yeah. I would make a motion. Are you happy with that bid? And yep.
Can you tell me the amount? I'm sorry, I was not.
$5,950.
And that's from Rickers?
Record builder.
yeah, I had Matt Nunn stopped. He's like, I can't do it this year. So I was a little worried I weren't gonna get any bids.
Yeah.
So, if I can say something about it, when we were doing all these enhancements here, timeline wasn't so important because we were using reserve money and that money was there for improvements. This is out of town budget, so the stipulation somehow has to be said, we do it in 2021.
Yeah, it's gotta be, I told him it's gotta be done by the end of November.
Okay.
Okay, so we might wanna include that in the motion.
Yeah,
And in the back?
Put a penalty clause in that if it's not done by the end of November, that it, for every day after that, there's money subtracted from the overall, cost. That's a normal and functionary thing that most contracts have,
Yeah.
completion cost.
They said, you told them they wanted it done by November and they.
I said by the end of November, and he says, yeah, we should be able to do that, no problem. You know, they may have to leave the kitchen they're working on, but.
So we can have it spelled out and you guys can think about the wording in the contract, we can fit it in there and how you want it set. Because they'll have to sign the contract and, insurance and all that, so.
So, we get that motion,
I make a motion to approve the bid from Rickert Builders for painting, the highway garage with the understanding that it'll be done before the end of November.
okay.
Of 2021.
Of 2021. There's a lot of November.
There you go.
I'll second it.
Okay, any other discussion on that?
I think from a wording perspective, it definitely needs to say the 30th of November, spelled out specifically, 2021. No, I think that's fine.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, Kevin, the Rickert Builders to do the contract with the stipulations involved, signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Anything else, Harold?
Yes, class 4 roads. So Wade has been part of this. Rodney Tinkham has called about his road driveway, because he's the only house on it. He called Wade, Wade called me, I called Rodney, we had a little circle going, and so I had a good talk with Rodney. He was very decent about it. He says, to be honest with you, my main beef with it is people go up his driveway and there's no turnaround. So they have to get the turnaround in his yard or on his lawn. He says, when they do it in the middle of the night, it pisses me off. So I said, well, you know, we could throw the road up. I mean, it doesn't benefit the town at all.
Have that driveway.
He says, well, I tried that in the past. He said, but I was told that I couldn't throw it up because we get state aid for it. I said, we don't get state aid for class 4s. I said, I'm all for throwing it up if you really want it. So I'd like the board to start working on that one and the one off Buzzy's Road. You know,
The other third one, that's up on Corey.
yeah, I know Aaron had a
With him, yeah.
thing going. I
Yeah.
don't know whatever happened there.
COVID. Yeah, I know, it was a year and a half ago, we reached out to the guy, so. We can
So,
concentrate on 2 roads at once, though, I think, we don't wanna be
But,
bored of
you know, the one up off Buzzy's Road is gonna be an easy road. They own all the land around it, so,
It's just one property owner.
yeah.
What about Tinkham's?
Mike Blair owns one side and Smith's own the other, but they don't have accesses, I don't believe, off it. I mean, the power line,
Yeah, that's the other thing, you get, the Velcro,
Velcro.
they got right of way, and I think the right of way is like 100 feet. But it does come right to the edge of his road, that
Right.
road, so, they're gonna have to be contacted because of the right of way issue, so. But the Smith, I think it's Ben Smith, they own, there's a small portion, chunk of it that they own, so.
well, I think they own where the power lines are, but the power company has
Has
the
a right of way.
right of way.
So they'll have to be contacted as well, so.
But something for you guys to start working on.
So what's the road up Buzzy's Road? Angle?
Engle Road, I think it's Engle's
Yeah,
off to
it
the
is.
left.
Yeah,
Is that with an E?
Right.
it's with an E.
Ingo Road. Is it called Tinkham?
One of,
What's Rodney's road?
It's Fuller Hill.
yeah.
Oh, it's not Tinkham?
No.
Oh,
no,
What's the end of Fuller Hill
End of
goes
Fuller
into
Hill.
his.
It's the end of
neighborhood?
Fuller Hill.
Okay, so you're just throwing up that
Yeah,
spot,
from
that
the-
part of Fuller Hill.
Yeah, from the Y
Two up
up
to,
to there.
yeah, it's about 150 feet or more up.
Yeah, it's 1/10 of a mile, I think it's what the map.
Yeah.
Or, of
Something like
course,
that.
that's a whole other thing, cause I've been dealing with the state, cause it's actually not on the map. So,
Well, if they don't have it.
So
on
we
the
haven't
map,
been getting state aid for that then.
no,
And if it ain't on the map, we don't worry about it.
yeah, so that's one woman that really loves her job.
And she's gonna find out.
And she's done a lot of research. She sent me an email tonight. I haven't opened it and called her back yet, but, so that has opened up other issues up there. Like Greens Road used to go in straight off Fuller Hill, not where it does now in the corner. There's no record of that being changed. So there's, may not even be a right of way there. It's like, I don't care about that, I'm just,
So, yeah, we got this other issue.
but, so I'm working with her on that. And we're,
One thing, because I went up to visit Rodney the other day after we had the conversation. One of the things that he would like to do, but he don't know how to go about it is, for now, until we get the road thrown up, is to allow him to put no trespassing signs or at the end of the road, so people get the idea that this is not a turn, this is a dead-end road, that, there's no way to turn around. Because he's afraid, because it's getting close to the season, leaf peeper season. He said this is the worst time of year right now. People are checking for leaves. Hunt season will be right, or bow season will be upon us here, if it hasn't already. And so he's getting a little nervous about it, and he doesn't want all kinds of traffic up there. And I can't blame him, so.
what if we put up like a dead end sign or something? Does that still
you
be?
can't use dead end signs anymore.
Oh, okay. You would know, I don't have any idea.
No outlet.
Okay,
But
no outlet.
my luck with getting signs lately is not very good. I ordered signs over a month ago, I still haven't received them. I think the supply chain is lacking somewhere. I haven't called them, but, so, I mean, I'm all for putting a no trespassing sign up there. I mean, Blair's or Smith's are gonna go up it anyway if they have access to it.
Yeah,
It's not gonna stop them, and it's not gonna stop everybody.
no.
But, it may stop the people at 1 o'clock in the morning going up shining their headlights in their bedroom window.
Yeah.
So that's,
Linda?
To go along with what Harold is saying, my son Matthew has the same issue with South County Road. They are coming down through.
that's next on my list, Linda.
Okay, I'll let you handle it then.
I don't have a problem with Rodney putting a sign up on the end of the road if it's legal for you to, road commissioner doesn't have a problem with that.
I mean, it isn't gonna stop everybody,
No, it's
but
not.
it may stop majority of them.
If it makes Rodney feel better, then it's.
That's half of that, that's half.
Yeah, that's,
At this point here, anything kind of make
Yeah.
it,
I mean,
feel a little bit
as
more
long as-
comfortable.
we're all right with him doing that.
Yeah, I told him, I said, go ahead and do it. Who's gonna say anything?
Yeah.
And he's, well, I don't wanna piss anybody off or, so,
So, do we want a motion?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll move for the town to allow Rodney, to put up, the Rodney Pickney?
Tinkham.
Tinkham, sorry. Put up, no trespassing signs at the end of the road.
Second,
Any more discussion with that?
with the permission, with the, acceptance of the road commissioner.
Yeah,
We did talk to him about that.
yeah.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion of the trespassing signs to allow Rodney Tinkham to allow them to be put on into that road, or the beginning of the road, or however you wanna put it, signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Okay. Next up,
so next up, snowmobile bridge on South County Road. I guess there seems to be a lot of traffic using that bridge and road now. I talked to Matt caught me today. He said there was a ton truck or a dual-wheeled vehicle that come down South County across the bridge, spun up the hill, ran over his squash. He said there's constant traffic up there, across that bridge. I haven't had a chance to talk to Gary yet. We gotta come up with something.
what type of bridge they got crossed?
Snowmobile bridge.
Should say no wheel
Is it,
vehicle, right?
steel
What's the
girders?
right of way, what's the width of the right of way
On the bridge?
on the snowmobile trail?
I
Is that
don't,
50 feet?
It's a county road, so it's still on the
It's gonna
thing,
be 50 feet.
49 point whatever it is,
Yeah.
or whatever it is, feet to me.
Gary thought Matt put big logs across every year.
he did, but he was visited by Mr. Downing one year when, can't remember the selectman's name.
Andrew.
Yes, was here, and Andrew didn't like it.
You can't close off the right of way.
Right.
It's been used for more than 3 years. That's state law.
But it's tough because that's a snowmobile bridge. That isn't actually a town bridge. So technically the road stops at each side of it, right?
I don't know, I haven't read what the right of way is. If the right of way extends out to the Ricker Pond Road or out to that Forest Road, 232,
No, it goes to each side of that bridge. That bridge is not part of the right of way. The town does not own that bridge.
It's one right there, Rick Pond.
the town doesn't have to. If there's an implied right of way where it's been used for more than 3 consecutive years, it's called an implied right of way. Now, you're talking about snowmobilers use it every year?
The snowmobilers use it, but it's not supposed to be for wheeled vehicles.
But it's a trail, people can walk up the trail, yeah.
But I think technically it's considered as a county road though, until that use of that road gets changed, though, I think that's what the issue is. I mean, they use it for a snowmobile trail, or if you wanna call it, use that, but technically unless it gets thrown up as a trail or anything else, that's technically a county road.
Well, yeah, what is
If I understand the way the law, is written on that, cause that's the whole idea about throwing up roads to change the nature of the use of the road, so.
Yeah, because it's a road, not a trail, right?
Make it a pent road and put a gate on it, right? Reclassify it as a pent road
Yeah,
and,
you could.
But, I mean, you still get access from the five corners.
yeah.
I
But if
mean-
somebody makes it all the way down there, they're gonna have to turn around and drive all the way back up because there's a gate across that bridge now. And
I
you
would
only
think
do it
that,
once.
yeah, I could think that's the only thing we could, first of all, can do, have it, good to know that.
Classify it as a pent
Yeah,
road.
yeah. And
You know, as I was talking to Matt,
They'd
he's
like
like,
to put a gate at the other end of the road too, I mean,
I can't. There's camps and houses down there.
They have guaranteed access.
Yeah.
But at some point, I mean, further down, right, at some point, there's gotta be a place where,
Well, they were saying right at the base where that bridge is.
that would be the only point then, right? So if you drove from the other end, it would. I see.
You know, Matt's like, I don't wanna put something across here that's, you know, like the log he put, his skid steer would just barely lift.
Yeah.
He says, you know, if the fast squad or someone's gonna get across there, they're not.
Yeah,
You know, if there was a gate or something that you could
Stop.
open,
Yeah.
you know, you could still get, I mean, if emergency purposes, you
Yeah,
could
you
get
can
across.
control, at least control the traffic that's going up, yeah. Yeah, so I think that's the only way, that's the only
Where
way.
did that county road originally end?
West Groton,
It didn't end at the bridge, right?
I think it ends up, doesn't that go up by High Goodman, it comes down
Yeah.
to High Goodman
I
and it
think
goes,
so. I
and
think I
actually,
was just looking at that the other
actually,
day.
yeah, and I think it actually goes across the river and
So
up.
has the other end of that been thrown up?
I don't think it has,
So it's still a continuous road?
because I think it comes all the way up from, Ricker Mills.
yeah, but I think the section between Ricker Mills and High Goodwin has been, I mean, there's a section on High Goodwin up to Crumb's Camp,
Yeah.
but from there to Ricker Mills, you can't get there.
You know,
from
you
here.
can't get there, but I don't, is it still officially connected though?
I,
Because I know there's a power line that goes right through there. Washington Electric goes right straight, right up, it follows that road, so, you wanna call whatever road is left.
right,
Yeah, and that road goes all the way down through and it crosses and, goes up to High Goodman Road, then it comes down and crosses 302 and it crosses the river and it ends on the other side of the river up in, I don't know how far that does go up into that property.
It goes right up, isn't Welch Road part of it?
technically connects to.
I
That's
believe
too
it
far.
is.
I don't know whether that, does it snake back around to Welch Road?
There used to be, years ago, there was a road that came right down by my house,
Yep,
came through from over on Dennis Road,
yep,
and then went up, and it was blocked off when Murphy's, I believe the name was, they put a trailer right across the road and blocked it. And Russell Hatt built the section off Main Road, just above me, up to roughly the power line. So that one section is privately owned.
okay,
It's, well, and in order to get the right of way, you have to get my signature and Zach Emerson and the Hat Boys.
okay, yeah.
But it goes from there, it goes up, I believe, and out the Welch Road,
Okay,
comes out by Ingalls, on Ingalls Road, out by Buzzy's.
okay, that's one that comes down with Buzzy, the one
Got a
that's
lot
thrown
less
up on
road
their
to take
property.
care of than they did 100 years ago.
No, the one just that they're talking about is above,
Okay.
that's the one up on top, right?
Engle
Up on
Road
top
off
of
of
the hill
Buzzy's.
by Ingalls.
yeah,
This one is down pretty right opposite Buzzy's house.
Okay,
And from where it went to from there, I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, last time I looked at the maps, I could just, the South County, all of it, it ended across the river. It just only went up so far and that just ended, there was nothing extended from it, I don't know where that went from there, so.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
that's what I've been told by the old timers,
Yeah.
that's all I
Yeah,
know.
older than you?
Yeah, believe it or not, there is one left in town.
What about the town? Okay, we'll take that. So, yeah, we need to look at that,
Yeah, I don't think we need to make a decision,
no,
I just
no, no,
need you guys to be
Yeah.
aware of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna visit with Gary some
yeah.
and try to
I
get some
mean,
history on it, cause I don't know a lot.
I mean, if you can come up with some suggestions that would curb the problem, and,
Or are people, I mean, I guess how are they I mean, they must be coming in through the access at the,
No, they're coming down from Goodfellow,
yeah,
they're coming down that direction.
they're coming across the bridge.
And going up, so they're not coming from the other way going that, okay, I got you.
I mean, I don't know if they go both ways, but this particular one, he was pretty upset about running over a squash.
guess it would be too.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you don't necessarily have that much traffic, should be that traffic going up through there, so. All right, that's something we're gonna have to deal with at a later date here.
The only other thing I got is for our next meeting, I'm gonna get some tire bids.
So what?
Tire bids,
Tell-
tire
okay,
prices. Getting to be that time of year again.
Well, it'll get a lot of traction. Had to do it.
The trucks need a lot of traction.
Yeah.
The rubber meets the road.
What are you looking to replace, just one truck or both trucks?
I need front tires on the 10-wheeler and a set of rears.
For the 10-wheeler, too.
We use that the most.
Yeah.
That gets the most miles on it. Phillips rear tires are new last year, and his front tires aren't too bad, so. And the ton truck.
Ton truck's fine.
Needs tires.
Oh, that needs tires too. So you're gonna be 10-wheeler in the ton truck this year. 10-wheeler in the ton truck this year, you think, or?
Yeah, it'll be 6 on the 10-wheeler and 6 on the ton truck.
Is paving done off Minor Hill?
They got one more, they've got one lane to go. They were still up there, that's why I was late, I got stuck in traffic up there.
I was fortunate, I got down through, got behind one of the trucks that was heading out, so I stuck behind him, coming down through.
I got a few minutes, I'll run up and see where they stopped, and get up there and they were still working.
I think they're, yeah, I think we're gonna finish that one lane down
Yeah.
through there.
Yeah, they had 2 trucks sitting there, they should.
Yeah, I met one of Pike's trucks coming out and I was coming down, yeah.
We saw a big asphalt truck go up Minor Hill.
Hey, he came down on the left side of the road just after I got home.
Can't believe
Really,
they would
really
go
moving.
up that road.
No big deal.
My God.
You'd be surprised what they can do, where they can go, what they can do, yeah. Anything else, Harold?
That's all I get.
All right.
Sure.
I'll probably come up with something.
I'm gonna hang around to the end.
Thank you, Harold.
Thanks, Harold.
All right. Treasurer.
Okay, I'm handing out the budgets to all the departments, just be at 66%.
Already this point in the year.
Oh, you know,
Crazy. The tax rate, so I gave you no, I didn't. So this is, Aaron, I don't know if I did this last year, but, you know, there's always a final. Because the numbers shift just a little bit by the time we print tax bills. So, on the second page, I put a note with the change, and it's just very, very little. So I do need you to sign this one,
Okay,
because that's the final.
just on the back, oh, down here
And
in
the
the bottom.
second page, you see your name.
Reply your name.
And I printed the tax bills, sent them out, 746. Tax bills went out today. Got a few phone calls already, with some got in their mailboxes already.
Great.
So, but just nothing bad, just questions.
Yeah.
And, I think it's Aaron, you and me that are ARPA people, right?
Yeah.
So here's an ARPA guidance manual. Thank you. That, you know, should be reviewed on what to do. And we are getting more money, I guess, this
The
weekend.
county. Yeah.
So, and it is, 289,000 that we're getting total between this year and next year.
That's awesome.
So, you know.
And you're still waiting on the Leahy grant too, right?
We are. So, I don't know, this, a lot of thought has to happen and, you know, I don't know. So, that's just the start and,
is that the one we told you about the problem, need to get some idea about a project? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we gotta have a list of shovel-ready projects.
Yeah, but saying take your time. So in the same breath, they're saying, really think about it, take your time. So we're hearing all these
Yeah,
things, so.
my intention, I haven't talked to them at work yet, is to do the town fair, the virtual town fair.
Oh,
October 4th is an all-day ARPA thing. So my intention is to take that day off of work and do that.
okay. Do you need to do it here in the office? Do you
No,
think?
I'll do it at my house.
You have good internet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Zoom meeting?
Yes, well, you can go in person to South Burlington.
Oh,
29th only though.
Yeah, or you can do it virtually the 4th through the 8th.
Yep.
So.
And Wade, probably you got the email too, that the wastewater permit was approved by the state.
Right, for that
I
crossing.
printed all the
Yeah.
documents. I don't know if you all want copies, I didn't make copies.
If it's the same stuff that you gave on the internet, on the
Yeah.
email.
Yeah.
I got it at home.
So I talked to Nate from Ruggles and he said, that there was, that there was no concerns with the design, so he was pleased with that. And, then today I received a bunch of copies for the bigger copies of the septic design. And septic bids were supposed to be in today, I think Wade got one, and one was dropped off
Oh, okay.
this
All right,
afternoon.
thank you.
Actually
got a
bid.
So, yeah.
Two bids.
So you have two, so that's pretty exciting. That will be open next week, correct? It's the 16th, the next meeting. These are just collected this time.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's how it was written.
So we'll review them next week.
So, I think that's all I have. In orders to sign, I think.
Alright.
That's it, but just to comment on the tax bills and how quickly it went. We have this folding machine that Gary fixed, either last year or the year before. It cost $40 to repair it. Well, it saves me, I think, 4 days of folding the inserts and folding the tax bills. It's just amazing. So, and Carrie uses it when she has a big delinquent tax fold, like
Yeah.
in January, February. So it really is very handy.
So, and I, please, the tax rate really didn't really go up that much compared to last year, so it's just, yeah, so,
It's good.
yep, good. So you have anything else? That's it?
No, I think I have something later, but it's down low, so.
Okay. Anything from town clerk? Okay, we got,
The dog
is that,
ordinance.
so that's from Gavin Reed.
Yeah, Carrie sent it to me this afternoon. She got it and I printed it off for you guys. This is from Gavin.
Yep.
So Carrie thought if you guys could review it and
Yep.
then
And
she'll be
we'll-
at the next meeting.
Okay, so
And
let's, yeah.
racing's pretty much over.
Yep.
So she'll be here on Thursday.
So she got an email from Gavin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent him an email,
Oh,
so
you
we
did.
have it before this meeting.
Okay,
Yes,
so
I
this
did. I
is-
pushed him.
Good, so this is it, so it's highlighted, I think the questions that were in hand maybe are highlighted, I'm not
Yeah.
really part of this, but I assume,
Yeah, we sent him the questions that Carrie had on the previous one. That wasn't very clear, she wanted some clarity on it, and he didn't have a problem with it, so
okay, so
hopefully
that's
this will
great.
take care of it.
So make sure that's on the agenda next time to approve the ordinance or adopt the ordinance, however you want to word it, and also that the septic
Yeah,
bids
the
will be
bids.
open.
So that seems to be pretty clear, okay, she's pretty well done with that, all right, so. Okay, next is, anything else we forget here before we go on to the next one? Okay. Assistant Assessor, Dorothy.
I'm gonna be taking a class online, it's a Zoom class, the 20th to the 24th of September. It's one of the IAOO classes, which is one of the ones I need for certification to get my level 2. So it's fundamentals of real property appraisal.
Ooh.
8 to 4 for 4 days, and
Wow.
an exam on Friday.
Wow, that sounds
It's
Wow.
It's an
Sounds-
exciting class.
Anyway,
like-
that's what I'll be doing that week. Other than that, the new printer has been set up. And I guess for under IT, Gary has got, Carrie's computer is all, can do whatever we need to do if we knew what we needed to do. My computer, he's worked on 2 days. The last day was, I think, either Monday or Tuesday, he worked 4 hours. And he can't, it either can't print or can't scan. So he's gotta like completely empty my computer of everything and start and reload everything. So he's gonna try to maybe get to that next week. But there's a glitch somewhere and he just can't do it the way it is. So he's gotta, empty my computer and reload everything. But,
I don't know.
so once that gets up and running, and Carrie and I have used it for a couple of things, it's gonna be a real good resource, you know, for if fire departments need maps or the town highway crew wants a survey or something copied. I let Jody know in the library, you know, so, and I did, like the day that he was showing me it, I took one of the plans, surveys that we had that's in the drawer there. It's kind of old and crinkled and it's one of the original ones that was sent, that we had prior to 2004, and I ran it through and it came out, you know, this beautiful copy. And it even had the red, it even did the red, it's color also, which we didn't realize. And so it did like, in the corner of all the maps, there's a red number and initials. So it did that in red, so it's just amazing. So, it's got a lot of potential once we get up and running, so.
Great.
Great.
Nothing like high tech. There you go.
Man.
All right.
I think that's all I've got for now.
Thank you, Dorothy.
All right, thanks, Dorothy. Fire and fast. You got anything on the fast side?
No.
Yes,
Yes. What?
R1,
Was just,
Yeah.
went to get inspected.
It failed.
And it
no,
failed.
Yes.
So without,
It has a tire that's got a bubble or a bulge on it and then lights.
yeah, so
So the tire's gotta be,
we're.
Brenda sent out an email
Yeah, I've,
just within the last hour or so.
yeah,
I don't have it. Dorothy's got a fast update for you.
yeah. Well, I get it from the source and it was anyways, the process is that, one that's in Wade Junior's in the process of getting quotes to try to refit the R1 with, all new tires. There's no sense in repairing just one.
No.
We need to fix the whole thing, and the light issue is gonna be, a problem because the body that was put on R1 is aftermarket. It isn't original. And so that means the lighting on it is not marked, it's aftermarket. So Whaling is the company that has the lights on it, so now he's looking into that to see, right now, he's looking at a cost about, unless he gets somebody else to do it, $500 to replace each light on that, back of that. So we're in the process working on it, and, so that poor boy's got some work to do, so he's gonna be busy for the next couple of days, so hopefully by the time, the business meeting, there we go, I'll get it straight, should have some kind of update what's going on with R1.
How old are those tires?
They've been on there for a while, cause,
I wasn't thinking 2 years, maybe?
yeah, I don't know how long, it's been, I don't know,
We didn't deal with, it wasn't last year. we were
no,
dealing
it wasn't
with
last year,
COVID,
no,
so
it was
probably a year
before the COVID,
Yeah,
no, it was before the COVID.
that was a 19.
Because I remember the discussion is that, these are all studded tires, they're studded all the way around. The issue was they didn't wanna have a set of tires where they had to take summers off, put winters on, and do vice versa, they wanted to have a set on there year round. And that's why I think that's the reason why the tires are wearing like they are, because they're on there all the time, so, instead of being taken off. But we've gotta get 3 quotes, for prices, and, Wade Junior's on that, and trying to get the lighting issue. I don't think we're gonna be able to get around that. I think we're gonna end up having to bite the bullet as far as the price goes on that. So, the other thing is we've got a new, new vendor for testing our pumps on the truck. A guy used to be assistant chief for St. Johnsbury. He's basically on his own now. The only thing is Chief Warren, and he's got all the Newberry in his truck. They got it scheduled for sometime this month. And I want to get in on it, but there's no date. He says he's only gonna be able to do 6 trucks a day, so that's because it takes about an hour. I
Yeah.
think an hour per truck, I think is what he's telling me today. So anyways, so I gotta make contact with Chief Warren and see if we can fit hours in somewhere along the line. So, more on that. Hopefully I'll have enough. I've got to call Jeff, so hopefully I'll have something by Tuesday, so anyways. Other than that, everything's going, as usual, so that's all I got.
I'll just say I saw a couple of fast folks up at the school helping with the COVID vaccine clinic. Was that Friday night?
That was Friday night.
Friday night?
Yeah.
Really, really awesome to see our town folk helping out with the COVID vaccine stuff at the school, so just wanted to make
He
a
tell you
statement.
about the oranges?
What's that?
He tell you about the oranges?
No. Felt bad for the guys from Middlebury. Ambulance crew from Middlebury was there.
Was it Middlebury or
Yeah,
Waterbury?
Waterbury.
Waterbury.
Was it Waterbury?
Yes, it was Waterbury.
Yeah, still,
Yeah, it's still a distance.
hell of a drive, but
Yeah.
anyway, it was good. Good to see folks out there.
Good, so, yep. Anyways, and also the fire department, I think they had the chicken barbecue on Saturday, that went well, I guess, I wasn't here, so.
It did, yeah, it went well, although I think everything Saturday was well attended, went really well. The fire department sold 130 chickens maybe, so,
It's great to see the town alive.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
library did great, and the historical society had an event, it really looked great. Farmers, the gardeners out front.
Yeah, looked like everything was,
All right, good enough. First constable.
I was working Tuesday, and I came onto the road up by Linda's, and I had a funny noise develop all of a sudden. Broke a strut. So I babied her down to Tim's, and he got me going the same night. He put a new strut on it. I don't know how we got it, but he got a new strut and put it on to the tune of a little over 300.
Yeah.
Darlings, we're still on the agenda for that.
I know, I was gonna ask about that, I was looking at my paperwork.
I was talking with Craig today. He said they've only got 77 jobs right now. So, I don't know when that'll be. It'll be sometime between now and inspection time.
yeah, gotta be before the inspection sticker.
I was gonna say, yeah, have to be, yeah, wow. Okay.
And I'm gonna need 4 tires.
Okay.
Those tires, we got it, it's 2012. They're the only winter tires we've had on it.
Well, did well,
And come spring, I'm gonna need new summers.
yeah,
Same deal.
okay.
Town Groton buying a lot of tires.
It's getting tiring.
It is good.
Tires. I think you spent all day thinking. Right?
Yeah.
Nope, they just popped into my head.
No. I'll probably just have Tim, if there's no objection, just have Tim order them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have no objection to it.
Nope, that's fine.
Anything else, Jim?
I'm getting a lot of complaints on people going like hell and making people real dangerous on the railroad bed between here and Reigate. I've been trying to run it every day that I work. I make a trip down, sometimes down and back, hoping I can catch him. I got a pretty good idea who it is, but it's just a matter of catching them. And then there's a couple other vehicles that are real loud and driving like idiots. They start about this time of night. I get a call or a message pretty near every night. That time if I come down, they be gone.
Gone, yeah.
So the only way to catch them is to be,
Be there when they're there, yeah. Huh. Wow.
You said that's on the railroad bed?
yeah, during the day, and at night it's up and down the main drag
And the railroad bed.
and the railroad bed too.
And Railroad Street.
Ah.
I can take care of that if you want.
Huh. Oh,
Near as I can, well, I know it's developing from on Railroad Street.
yeah.
But like I said, it's just a matter of catching them.
Yep.
If you want to shoot the tires out, remember.
The tire strips out? Railroad spikes, spikes?
Well, you know, if you're-
Leave it going. And I don't know if that's, you, probably Aaron's been down through with Laura into town. Our buddy, I guess he had a ship fit and they dug out in front of his place.
I wonder if he was going, because I saw it the other day when they were working on second, but somebody's not gonna be very happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess from what I've been told, he was right out there just waving his arms and screaming. I said the guy on the excavator just kept right on and working.
Good on him. Good on him.
Yeah, yeah.
There's 11 miles of ditching that's gotten done, and then there's 10 feet, only 10 feet that hasn't been done yet on that whole project.
Yeah.
It's right here in town.
Right by his place.
And we've got 4 vehicles there again, so
Yeah, I see that,
won't be long.
yeah.
Anything happening with the cemetery parking? Is it not happening? Those vehicles aren't there anymore?
No.
Hasn't been there since.
No.
I was down there last night, and
Oh, good.
there was nothing down there last night.
Yeah, I keep watching it.
Oh, good. You can sneak back there, I wouldn't know.
The road crew's planning on doing some work on guardrails, right? Keep saying that, but, no, I mean, like, for this project, are they putting in guardrails and stuff?
Supposed to be moving
If you
in.
put them all in one continuous line, it's just over 4 miles of guardrails to be replaced.
Really?
Pulling up the old ones and moving them in 2 feet and putting new ones. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just curious, they're doing
Just-
that, might as well extend a couple.
You know, except for about a couple hundred feet up on that side.
Yeah,
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Well, from what I've been told, I guess right in the middle of that bridge is a soft spot.
Yeah,
So we can hope that maybe the state will come in and
repair
take that house by eminent domain. They'll have to replace the bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that, you can see it, even after they paved over it, you can see that there was that one spot right in the middle of that bridge, where it's got a little bit of indentation where it's kinda, where it's sunk, yeah.
Well, that bridge is in need of replacing anyway.
There's a lot of bridges in need of-
Yeah.
That's a
That's-
Spring Road.
Yeah.
We paved that last year. Asked Harold, so it didn't go over the bridge? No, he said they weren't gonna put any more weight on that bridge. So, okay.
50 years ago, it was, the independent was all shot. They wanted to replace it, but they couldn't figure a way around
I'm gonna put a detour.
temporary bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause that's when
Well,
they
they're
had,
gonna have to
the
figure
barn
something
was
out.
still there at the time, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
3, I think it was 3 floors full of chickens.
Yeah, 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 so,
And the US senator, or whatever the heck he was, owned it, so.
yeah, and we talked about
Mhm.
it.
State Center.
Morse?
Yeah,
Darryl
Darryl Morse.
Morse? Anything else, Jim?
You think that about covers it?
All right. Thank you much.
Thank you, Jim.
Library, anything with library, at least you didn't know, anybody knows anything about the library, what's going on?
Are they meeting today?
No, they weren't meeting.
I don't think they weren't
There's
meeting
a bunch
tonight.
of people down there, so, oh,
But I know they had a great event on Saturday.
Yep.
I think it had a good turnout. So.
Yeah, I do believe so.
All right. Zone administrator, Dan.
There's a couple things.
Yep.
I don't know if this is the time to talk about an hourly rate.
That's what it says on the agenda, so,
Okay.
yep.
What's come up is, I'm getting a lot of calls to go out with prospective builder and go over whether he needs to put a permit in or not. As it stands right now, because it's not in the process of doing a permit, I'm not covered by the same liability that other town workers are. So, in order to facilitate that, there needs to be a compensation for me going out there. And it's normally less than an hour. There is money in my budget for it already. And also if I do other things such as running a dog to the pound or whatever, there has to be compensation for that, so I'm covered by the same liability. So that's the reasoning for that. There's also, Carrie's working on putting a clause into our zoning permit that allows me access without the owner being there. Because a lot of the permits that are given at Groton Pond are from out-of-staters that send the permit in. But right now, the way that our permits are written, there is no guaranteed access clause in there, so.
Yeah, you absolutely 100% should be compensated when you go out, especially for.
I'm more concerned about the liability than I.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's part of it. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of, you know, you being covered. So, the money's there in your wages,
Yes,
so,
it's there.
yeah.
How many requests do you get?
This year, it's been ridiculous.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've had more requests to go out and check than I've had permits. Just, I think it's because of the cost of lumber.
Mm-hmm.
And the latest one I went on was for a pole building, 10 by 50. So Brian Rowland is going to be putting that one up. But I had to go out and do a site inspection because there's questions about a right-of-way with a railroad bed. It's different than any other town we have, any other town highway we have, or state highway.
Yep.
So it's things like that. Up to Groton Pond, there's been a lot of, can I do this? I'm changing the footprint a little bit here. Do I have to go through Shoreline Protection Act? I mean, there's been a lot of questions like that. And I expect next year there's going to be a lot of permits.
Okay.
What I'm seeing.
So back to the wage, so he gets $25 a month per permit,
Right.
and he gets a $40
Stipend.
stipend. That's how it's set up now. So I would need you to decide an amount per hour, so I can adjust it in payroll.
Which is a $40 stipend.
Monthly?
Just monthly,
Yes, monthly.
he just gets that every month.
Yep.
You said $25 per permit?
Yeah,
Yes. The permit is not the issue.
No, I get it. No. I'm doing math in my brain here.
That's what the smoke is.
That's exactly it.
You need tires.
Something's burning, but it ain't tires.
Yeah.
You got a number, Dan, that you want to be?
No, like I said, I'm more concerned
Concerned with
about
being,
the liability.
yeah,
Liability,
yep,
yeah.
but, yep.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about that under executive session or anything, do we?
No, it's because it's money managers.
Well, I'm
It's
wondering,
public-
instead of making it an hourly rate, we make it per consultation, you know what I mean? So there's a consultation fee.
Well,
You-
I don't know if you wanna do that because
He wants to be covered by
I'm never
liability.
gonna do more than an hour on these consoles. So I mean, I guess that would be up to you, but it would make more sense to me to just do an hourly fee for these consoles
Yeah,
and just be done with it.
I think that may also make a difference with the liability issue, whether it's per hour by consultation, I don't know how that works.
The per hour is better.
Yeah,
So, well, I mean, the other question I would say is if somebody's having you come out and do a consultation for a potential permit, you know, who would, you know, should they be charged that fee for that consultation? You know what I mean?
If you do that, my concern is that they're not going to do the consult,
Yeah.
and they're gonna end up with a big fine.
I gotcha. So they're gonna, go, oh, I don't wanna
They
pay
pay
that.
a permit fee, right?
Already
Now,
rolled the
this is
dice.
before they're,
Oh,
put the permit in.
okay.
They wanna know what they have to have, if they need a permit, or if they don't need a permit, or what type of permit.
yeah.
I just had one where they did put a permit in,
Yeah,
but then they had to do an addendum, because they forgot some of the stuff, so I had to go back out. They gave me a drawing, I went back out, took more pictures and things. But that was all part of that one permit fee, so.
I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking, you know, we're doing, you know, $25 a permit,
Yeah.
and you're doing a consultation. You're not really doing a consultation on every permit.
No. This is an anomaly this year,
Okay.
and it's because, I believe it's because of the high price of lumber and things.
Yeah, people wanna know before they start buying all
They
that
don't know
lumber.
what they're getting into and what they've gotta do and how many permit processes they've gotta go through.
Yep.
You know, it would seem to me that $15 an hour would be fair.
I was thinking 20, but if
I
you,
was-
No,
I was
15
thinking
would be-
25, I mean.
Yeah.
No, I think 15 would be more than fair, for these consoles,
yeah,
because I'm more interested in the liability
Yep.
protection.
that's the biggest part is, yeah.
Than I am about making money. I'm not
Yeah,
really making.
yeah, understood.
So he would, if that's the amount, he would still get his 40 stipend.
Every month.
And his
If he gets
permit.
called out,
And he would
Yeah.
have to do it, he'd have to do a time sheet.
Oh, he does anyways,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to be clear,
Yeah.
that there's be 3 types of payments
Yeah, does he
for
get,
him.
does
He
he also,
gets-
does he also get the mileage issue, does he also get the mileage?
He
The
had,
only, the only time I would charge a mileage issue is if I'm transporting an animal,
Okay,
and that,
he has a mileage budget.
okay, all right, that's what I
I
was
don't
asking.
use it normally. The stipend covers the gas mileage for the permits and
Okay.
things.
I just kinda wanna know, cause usually that's in there, most of the things, so.
But once again, that's for the liability of transporting
Yeah.
an animal. If I get in an accident, the
Yeah,
animal gets killed, I
yeah,
mean,
somebody's gonna, yeah.
yeah, that's the worst thing. Not an animal bites you in the middle of a trip.
that's another different story.
And, you know, I've been here 6 years and it's always been 40 and 25, so
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
at budget time, it should be more. He's doing so much.
Yeah.
Well, I think, yeah, we need
So
to,
much. I mean,
we should talk about that for the budget, you know, I think moving forward, I think.
Yeah,
There's money already in the budget to cover,
Yeah.
you know, so I mean, and I don't think, personally, I don't think my budget needs to go up this year. But that's up to you guys.
I can't say the same thing.
He's not gonna come in.
I just got my tax bill.
Yeah, you probably gotta wait,
Notice the highway went down?
I appreciate that.
and maybe you wanna wait till after you look at your tax bill.
Well, I looked at it.
All right, so somebody wanna make a motion to the effect,
I'll move that, we pay, the zoning administrator $15 an hour to do consultations for zoning permits. Or is it zoning or building permits? Did you use zone?
They're the same thing.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just making sure we use the right term.
Zoning permit.
Zoning permit, okay.
Second.
any discussion? Any more discussion?
So the discussion, so it makes it into the minutes, is the biggest thing is the zoning administrator wants to make sure that he is covered when he goes out on these visits.
Thank you.
Liability.
I have one more thing. You had mentioned,
We
when I was
just-
at the last,
Can we just get this motion
Oh,
taken care of?
okay.
We got a motion on the floor, I'm sorry. Anything else to discuss on that? Okay, hearing none, call a vote. All those in favor of the zone administrator to get $15 an hour for the consultation, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those.
Aye.
All right, got a little bit of delay there, we're good.
Whatever.
All those opposed, same sign? Okay, now you can, Dan.
Okay, you had mentioned class 4 roads.
Yeah.
And whether there would be ability to give access for certain services. I did a permit on class 4 not too long ago, and on it I put, because of where it was and how the road was, the town may not be able to guarantee any resources in case there was any type of emergency. And that was put on the permit as a condition of the permit. I don't know if that helps with your concern, or if that needs to be on the permit itself.
Yeah, I would think, you know,
It's one of the conditions.
yeah, I mean, the town's fortunate right now in that you're on top of this stuff, Dan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that might not be the case 8 years down the road,
Right.
you know?
And that's why I was thinking you could put it
If you
as
put it,
one of those little check-off
yeah,
boxes.
yeah, that's why I
because of
agree,
your
yeah.
Location,
Yeah.
being a class 4 road or worse, a
Yeah.
trail like what Jim took me on
Yeah, yeah,
was,
yeah,
you couldn't have gotten there without a 4-wheeler.
yeah.
So those things I think are important, I'm glad you brought that up.
That's part of that, also the fire chief had, is that, to get on the planning commission to try to, get this other issue. It's on the same line about people who build off these class 4 roads, about apparatus turnarounds, being able to turn around where the building site is, so we can easily, access in and get out with the apparatuses. 'Cause
Right,
I
well,
know
I
New
think-
Hampshire does it,
I
so.
think that if on any class 4 building, if you had it in the permit itself, and you could check it off, may not be able to deliver resources because of location,
Yeah,
I think that would cover it.
yeah.
Some of these class 4 places that we go to and look at, you couldn't get, someone couldn't get the ambulance into, no less.
I don't know how they get insurance on those places.
How do they get the lumber in? I know the guy where Jim took me, the guy had to drag it in, didn't he, Jim?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, and he built a fairly large camp, I don't know how he did it. Had solar panels on it, and
Yeah.
Well, that's, like I say, that's some of my concerns, because you're seeing a lot more of it being done, and,
well, my concern is, if you don't have something like that in the permit, and they go ahead and build, and then something happens, and the town doesn't respond, and there's nothing that says we may not be able to respond, is the town liable?
good question.
Where's the culpability
Yeah,
there? That's my concern.
yeah, we don't, and, that's getting to be more and more, just the legalities of it is getting more intense.
Well, you're getting more and more people that are buying property off class 4 roads because they just want land here, and then they decide they're gonna put a house or a cabin or a shack or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, they still want the same protection, but they don't realize what it's gonna take to get that protection. And that's what needs to be noted when they go get a permit, say, okay, this is what you're faced with, okay? So get your checkbook out, because it's gonna cost you money to build, so.
Yep, no, I agree 100%.
All right. Anything else, Dan?
No,
All right,
Thank you, Dan.
thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Health officer, yeah, well, still dealing with the goats. Hopefully we got, seeing a light at the end of the tunnel on this issue, so hopefully, I think Dan's gonna help me out with a breakthrough, tonight, so maybe, maybe we'll see the end of it, so, about all I can say as it for now, so. But it has been a challenge, and I appreciate Dan's input and his help with it, because he's dealt with the issue before, and it's like, it's nothing new, it's familiar, which has been major help, and it's definitely had its challenges, so it ain't over yet, so. Anyways, that's about all I got on that. Issue.
Wade, just for your info, last week she called me every day.
Good.
I was getting ready to give her your
Give her my
name
number?
and tell her Deb didn't care if shaking down and visited you.
Yeah, I appreciate you didn't.
She has called me every day.
Yeah, I know she has, you told me, yeah. Yeah, like I say, it's a serious issue, and we're trying to do everything possible, and trying to work both sides of it, both with this individual plus the other landowner, so, it's been a challenge, so, you know, and I'm glad that the other landowners got a little bit of patience, because it could be going off the other direction, so. But anyways, it's work in progress, so. Anyways. Now we're on to maintenance. What we got for maintenance? Anything on maintenance?
No.
Nope, good on maintenance, good.
They do the pressure washing yet?
No, you didn't see that email.
Sorry,
I didn't see the email, no.
No.
yeah, I sent an email, that he was all booked for 2021.
Oh, okay.
So I told him that, we'd keep this figure and put it in the budget for 2022.
Perfect.
And he put us on the calendar for either April or May,
Perfect.
so. Yeah, I'm worried about that, cause it, you know, it was almost a month
Yeah.
by the time we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, so that's too bad, but it's okay. It's just a thought that
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yep. Gotcha.
IT, I hear some good things so far about, all the technology that's coming into the office here with the printer, the copier, or whatever that creature is that we got.
Yeah, Gary's second home here.
It's well, you know, coming from me anyways, from a board member, that I really do appreciate his time and effort that he's put into it, so, and, like I say, he gives a lot of his time, so.
The town is fortunate we have a number of people,
Yep.
Dan being one of them.
Yep, Dan.
Linda was.
Well, she still is.
So she still is, but no, I mean, Dan and Gary, you know, I mean, are the ones we're talking about now, but from what they get compensated for what they put in is
Yeah.
not.
No.
And they wanna do it,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, for the most part too, which is, you know, one of my things is generally, the best person to do the job is the person who wants to do the
Who
job.
doesn't.
Generally, not always, but generally. If somebody wants to do it, they're usually the right person for it, like Michael Jolly.
There you go.
Hopefully, that works out.
No, yeah, it couldn't happen, no, it's.
We both know Michael's a good kid.
Yeah, he is a good kid. Yeah, so. All right, anything on IT? All right. Planning Commission. Okay, this was issued with, what's her name, Rogers' last name?
She wants to be called.
She wanted to be.
Jennifer.
Jennifer
Yes.
Rogers,
Yeah.
okay.
Jennifer Rogers.
Okay, so she wants to be put on the Planning Commission?
Yeah.
So with the,
We just need to send an appointment letter.
that's all we need to do. So if we're all in agreement with that?
Send an appointment letter for the second constable to Michael Jolly and planning commission, Jen Rogers.
Yep. And
And dog catcher to Zach Conway.
health officer to.
Sure.
So
Three letters, just.
it is, they want to appoint Jennifer Rogers and the planning.
Yeah.
I thought something formal would come through to you, or you guys wrote a letter.
I saw an email.
Sorry, an email from who?
Someone from planning.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think it was-
That's-
Was it
right, I was just told
Mike,
that's
Mike Wall?
what she
I
wants.
think Mike-
Yeah, we're gonna send her an appointment letter.
Yes.
So-
Similar appointment.
Yeah,
So you're doing
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Sorry.
Nope.
So, dog ordinance review, we've already got the new version of it, and, the board will be looking at it, and at the next board meeting, we will be taking it up and,
We will adopt it.
adopt it, and be done with that issue, so. And speaking of which, of dog ordinance, Linda, have you had, is there any more issues? I know.
That's a silly question.
Well,
That's what
I know
she's
you're
here
sitting
for.
there and you've been quiet, and I'm thinking, oh, there's gonna be something coming down the pipe here.
Jim wanted to go visit Mary again.
figured I'd get it out in the open and be done with it, so.
The last part
Just let me go see her.
has been the worst, August 28th.
We're happy to report, since Linda's been shooting at the dogs, they aren't over there now.
My next question is it not within the town limits?
No,
No,
Okay,
I'm
we're
out
good.
of the, I'm out of the.
plus it's in defense of her property, so it doesn't matter whether
Okay.
it's in town limits or not.
Well, somebody may take issue with it, that's why I said, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
No.
I've been shooting into the ground.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's her story.
Or
She's sticking to
or
it.
at that
Okay.
woodchuck that is there, but
Okay.
the dogs happen to be around the same area.
Okay, so
I
if it
would
gets,
not-
okay, if it gets in the way, it's like it got away because the woodchuck was in front of him or something?
Yeah, I wouldn't shoot the dogs,
No, I don't
not
know.
if I could
No,
help
I
it.
know, I just,
But, you know, this is, I just brought it because I kind of would like,
Yeah.
you to know it's still going on.
yeah,
Until the dog ordinance is set.
yeah,
Which
and
should be,
We can follow that
process, yeah,
process.
yeah.
Trying to hands are tied with her.
yeah, right now,
Other than what you do, other than what we did before, which Linda caught the dog and I took it to the
yeah,
vet.
and,
Because our animal control officer refuses to deal with Mary Corbin.
that's something she's gonna, I mean, that's another issue that, crosses over into the legal territory because, if that's her job. I mean, I'm not trying to dictate to her job, but I'm just saying, she's the animal control officer, she needs to, she needs, as much as she despite, I understand her circumstances. I mean, I understand it, but she's got that role and it needs to be, she needs to do her job.
I didn't bring my iPad with the pictures
Yeah.
where the dogs have been on there and things. I figured there's no sense in it right now.
I've been up, they've dug their compost piles up, they've dug holes in the yard. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so, yeah, we're gonna, like I said, we'll get this dog one that's taken care of and,
Yep,
like
and
I
we
say,
can follow that process and take care
all
of
that process.
I think I've got Mary's attention now, though, that she heard the second shot. So she came out and hollered at the dogs to come home.
Well, you can borrow my 58, I think that will definitely get their attention.
Yeah, mine's only a 22
Yeah,
Magnum.
yeah, well, this
I'll
is,
betcha Melvin's got something.
well, like I say, that 58 will mark, that and make a hole too, but, yeah, so.
Good jug of turpentine and a wire brush. When she goes out, give her the same treatment. I'm gonna do something for Mel.
That's good.
Yeah, we try not to keep it down here. So, but just for your information, that it is still going on.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, we appreciate the update.
The whole town of Groton is benefiting from this, Linda, because we're pushing this dog ordinance through.
Yeah.
So, you're taking it on the chin for everybody else in town.
Yeah, you are, yeah, unfortunately,
Uh-huh.
yeah, so, we do appreciate these updates.
Patience.
Yeah, and
Appreciate your
yeah.
patience. And,
And especially with Dan as well, trying to
yeah.
Yeah.
keep this thing, under the radar until we get until we can get a handle on this thing, so. All right.
Well, thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Linda. Communications, okay, is this Mike was talking about?
Probably CUD, Communications Union
What we do is
District.
we'll put the initial CUD
Yep.
after it, that way we can all
Yep.
we can be conscious of that.
Yeah, we'll just change it to NEK CUD update.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know what that was about,
Yeah.
communications, that's really the CUD.
Yeah, and
That was not communicated to you?
communicate, there you go. Mike Geis kind of asked to be put on, so it's gonna be, he'll probably be giving regular updates with it, because it is, we live in an interesting time in our culture, so, with high tech and everything, the way it's going, so, we'll see. So. All right, open to the public and other business.
So I just had a question, I didn't know if this was part of the communication, it's more about the video of the meetings. And I didn't know if the gentleman here could answer any of the questions, but what does this do for, taking minutes? Like, do we still take minutes, this doesn't replace the minutes you taking this, do you know anything?
No.
Do you do this for other towns?
Yep.
And where is this video held? Is it held in town? Do we have a copy of it?
Yeah, we can give you a link to post it on the website. We usually put it up on YouTube or, we'll, throw it on our channel, so. But we can definitely give you a physical copy too, probably, so.
Okay,
At the end, I can give you a card.
okay, okay. And just, should we have contract with you for doing this, cause it's a service for the town?
No.
You haven't had to do that for other towns?
Nope.
And have you had to have insurance to provide this?
I believe we're, yeah.
Okay, well, just all my questions.
No, I think it's probably like, you know, no different than if CAX showed up. You know what I mean? He's a media outlet.
Alright,
He's
I
a
just
news
didn't
outlet.
know.
No, that's,
Service.
in my mind, yeah. I mean, it's totally legitimate questions, you know, if he falls and breaks his ankle here, you know, is that our fault, you know?
And we don't, there's no cost to the town.
Right, right. Okay, I just wasn't here for that.
No, I think it's a great service, and it's a good question,
Yeah, they
good
can,
questions.
they can throw darts at the monitor at the select board, and not be here, so. The only thing is just, we need to be kind of conscious of this, even though it's being taped and so forth, by, open law meetings, I believe we still have to have a written thing, because the select board has to approve it, excuse me. And so it has to be a hard copy. I don't think the state has changed its statutes on it.
Okay, I just wondered if.
No, that was just my question.
Parallel with the retention of the minutes, so I didn't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did learn something in the select board meetings from, select board classes from VLTC, so, beneficial, so.
So again, open to public and other business, it's my intention to do a one-day training on the town fair.
Okay.
October 4th, I think, is the date of that. So, like I said, that day is specifically set out for ARPA,
Okay.
so I figured it would be.
And, I'm gonna consider doing the in-person on the 29th, potentially.
What's the date?
September 29th is the in-person, training and annual meeting.
Might be up to Danny, I'm looking for another job.
I'm gonna have another job before then at this point.
It isn't that he's thinking about it, he's already good.
I already applied to 7 places.
Really? Well, everybody's seeking for help, so I mean, it shouldn't be a problem.
You want to be a road commissioner?
Will you vote for me?
I'll even resign for you.
I don't think I can do it.
I could ask the next question, but I'm not gonna ask it. All right.
I have one other.
Anything else to open to?
New business?
Go ahead, I'm sorry, Dan.
Business, I'm not sure if this is new or old, but I was speaking with Carrie, and she was talking to me about the addition on the back of the community building.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to go on record as zoning administrator, nothing will be put on the back of this building until all the grading and everything is done. And even then, I'm not sure with the way they're going to slope it, that there would be enough room to put one on. But until everything else is done, there will be no permit given to extend this building towards that hill.
All right, that's-
And I think, Dan, we're all in agreement that there's a lot of things that need to get done before anything's built back there.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I think we made that clear at the last select board meeting too, to the community club, because I know that Peter and Mary are interested in pursuing that. Is that one of the things that has to be fixed back there is the drainage and
Yes.
the grading and everything first.
Yes,
So that, you know, no matter what, we have to get that done, because it's not just for new building, but sustaining the foundation for this building as well.
Yeah, true, yeah. And I believe so, I believe that kind of goes right along with Dan saying that the phase 1 and phase 2 of the project that we've got going has got to be completed before anything.
everything has to be completed because there's no way for me to do any type of slope
Right.
assessment without that being totally done, so I
Right.
just wanted to
Yep.
make clear that there will be no permit given.
Okay, good enough. Appreciate
Fair
it,
enough.
Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
Okay, anything else, open to the public and other business? All right, I set the agenda for our next select board meeting.
Yep, we add the CUD as a permanent fixture.
Yeah,
I mean, we could put it under department updates.
yeah, that's where we'll put it.
I think that's the best place to
Yep.
put it, because that, I mean, he's just representing it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, we've got the dog ordinance and we've got the septic bids.
Entire bid.
Tire
There,
bids.
we're all down. Did I miss anything?
Also, the,
Do we wanna talk about do we wanna add South County Road?
well, that and then other two roads that we need to talk about throwing out too.
Yeah, so class 4 roads. We should just add that's what we should just add it as, right? Class 4 roads as an agenda item.
Now, is there, who has the process for that, how that?
The orange book, I think, is in the
Yeah.
book. It's all laid out in the orange book.
You should have a folder from a few years ago when we were working on Tannery Brook. That, I know I do. I think all of us had folders,
Yeah.
except for Zach, because he wasn't here.
I have it somewhere though, probably, cause I think Deb gave it to me.
She handed it down.
Yeah.
I think in there is, there was a paper from someone from the state.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. It's
Some
not that,
questions and answers and the process.
Yeah, we need to, we'll make sure we bring that next time, so we kind of,
figure that out. It's
Figure-
not that bad, I don't think.
No, I
It's,
just-
it's a process.
it's
But
time,
it's not that, yeah.
it's a time
Yeah,
consuming.
Sending out letters.
You gotta meet
site
with them,
visit.
yeah, you gotta meet with the property owners, and then post it for like 3 weeks or something like that, or I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. It is a process, and it's consuming process.
But it'd be good to get done before snow flies.
Well,
When do you anticipate the snow coming?
Next week.
First time it snows.
Yeah, okay.
it's already doing it in Alaska, so you, if the timetable is, if they go by the timetable, and I don't go by these weather timetables, because they change, so you figure by 6 weeks, from the time they get it, the Rockies will get it, then you figure 6 weeks from the time the Rockies get it, the East Coast gets it, then you know, just go from there.
Alright.
Alrighty,
Ordered or signed?
orders to sign, I'm looking,
I'll move to adjourn.
alright.
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. At 8:13.